Okay, so we're gonna head and get the Early Childhood Education Task Force meeting. The topic today is Education Incentive Program. Chelsea Tremblay Chair. My bright spot is how much closer we are to spring equinox than we are to winter solstice, which is way more than halfway now. So we're getting there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bright spot. It's almost Valentine's Day. And the panic of what I'm gonna provide, I think I'm gonna figure it out by this afternoon.
I believe in you.
Flo Wallen, here, present.
Becky Turland. Trying to think of a bright spot right now. I'm tired. I got up at 6:15 and did cheer with the girls. So bright spot, I get to sleep in tomorrow.
Hey,
After a crazy couple of weeks.
sleep is good.
Katie Homeland, also having a hard time thinking of a bright spot today, which it's been a fine week. Maybe my bright spot is that my husband left for crabbing, so I get the house to myself for a little while and I can get things back to how they should be. And that will be exciting.
In order.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, cool. So we have our agenda. I guess there's old business, new business. We are in the in-between stage. We have money has been designated for us. Now we need to figure out how it is going to get where we want it to go. So I was thinking today we could be working backwards from our goal is to have checks out in June, correct? And so working backwards from there, figuring out our timeline of what needs to happen when, so that we're not trying to tackle every stage of this implementation all at once today. So I'm imagining May, and stop me if I'm off track, May as being the period in which applications are received. It's like the end, because, right?
I stop you already.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
So met with the finance department at the hospital. They need about a month and a half to do the turnaround because we will be requesting the exact funds from the borough. So we also have to receive the funds from the borough. We don't want to take a lump sum and then have to pay back. It's just it's kind of, muddy water and have to pay stuff back. I mean, you can do it, but it's going to be cleaner if we get the applications. I will review them. I will submit what is needed to our finance department. They will turn around and request the funds from the borough. And then once the borough cuts the check to the hospital, then we will then pay out from there. So about a month and a half turnaround, which is a long time. They said they could probably get it down to a month, but safe
assume a month and a
measures.
half, especially the first time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. This is exactly why we're having this meeting. So that means checks out in June.
When do we want them out? In
Business
June?
happening.
Like beginning, middle, end?
I'm imagining June, think of summer vacations, and how quickly people can jet.
I was wondering what that is too. but-
Huh?
What's a summer vacation?
For the sake of partly also, if we say June 1st and then the second round is in December, then that means December 1st. And that makes more of an impact.
And that would be
on-
easier than trying to do checks towards the end of December. as
No one
well.
wants any business happening during the month of December.
No.
That is not when good things happen.
I guess kind of going back then, because you got to work for 6 months, so it won't be that clean date of this January 1st and June 1st of starting as well.
That I think is personally okay, right? Because their 6 months could be November through April, and they would still qualify
Yep.
as long as they're a current.
So we would need everything turned in by April 15th to get a June 1st check.
Taxes and apps. Let's do
Yeah.
both.
And then, no one then, sorry, I'm thinking of a different. December, November, then October 15th for the second round, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, right?
Middle of the
April
month,
15th.
not
April
too hectic,
15th.
not during
Not
school, spring
during
break.
Little Norway, that whole build.
Oh, yeah, May,
It's like-
yeah.
For 15th, that
Yeah.
way
The 15th of April is a Saturday. I don't know if that changes anything for you.
you would say the 17th, I would round it up.
Okay.
That would be my,
And then December or October 15th said.
Yeah, because what matters is the 6 month. It doesn't
That's a
matter
Sunday,
the,
so the 16th.
16th, so then they would checks on December 1st. What is December 1st and June 1st?
December 1st is a Friday.
So that would come out,
Lovely. June 1st is a Thursday. That's the last day of school, isn't it?
I don't know, I don't look that far ahead.
It is. It's a Thursday.
Okay. So those are during the work days or work weeks, so we can leave those dates as is.
and that's also probably the side of it that's more nebulous because it's like by the time X and then X and then X. But as long as we have this goal of that and give ourselves that month and a half time.
So the 6 month thing, is that 6 months from when I submit my application or from when the checks are cut? You know what I mean?
I would say application.
Okay.
Because we have to go through and then verify.
We need to very clearly word that on the application then.
Yeah.
Like, you must
Um,
have been working from this date. Whatever,
We can count back. If you want to count back, you can tell me what the dates are.
from April 15th? Well, what if I submit my application on a different day? Sorry, I'm going down a rabbit hole.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they're due
6
on the
months prior to the
17th,
date of the application being due.
so are we gonna go off the 15th or the 17th? This is the couple day.
And that's April. This is gonna be faster this way. Back, that would be March, February, January, December, November, October 17th.
Oh,
That's for
funny, 'cause
the,
they are
Yeah.
6. It's okay. It's the morning.
but it's
Oh, my
October
dear.
17th of 2022.
Yeah, 22.
And then it would be April.
April 15th.
Approximately April 15th.
Wow, wow.
Look at us picking it up.
End of the
We're-
week.
2023 though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And that's a nice way to, because I'm thinking of, so we're,
So round it to the 15th. Like
Sure.
you have to be started October 15th and April 15th.
yeah, I think a couple days is not the biggest hurdle. So we're still on timeline.
And if there is, happens to be, we could always, if there is somebody happen to be there, could we come together and say, hey, this person is one day off?
So
Or are we
here's
gonna be
another-
hard
here's
and-
Another issue
Mhm.
with our start dates. So the date you're hired with your organization is not always the same as the date that you are approved to actually work in childcare. And so like my staff, Becca's been with me forever, right? But her official start date is October 1st of 2022, right? Same with Becky as a sub for me and Julie as a sub for me, Kylie. No, you won't count towards this, but, and like my official start date.
So the question is start date versus hiring date.
Exactly. Yeah, because some people,
What's
we're
the,
supposed to have it listed so it matches the Alaska background check system. But there's onboarding that goes into all of this as well. So all of that
I
mandatory
would say
training
the
stuff.
higher date.
so you would say that what?
I would say a higher
And our
date.
higher
Yeah.
dates really should be matching the state, but that is one of the biggest violations that licensors find, is that they don't match in personnel files. So we're gonna have this issue. Where it's like, well, I actually started working at so-and-so on whatever day, but it's not gonna match their background check system date. So like, how are we going to confirm their date of hire? Are we confirming it or are we just trusting them?
This
Nope,
is
there's
a-
that
this is
thing
a good
that was
question.
on
We're
here with proof of
still-
Employment dates we need to discuss how to do.
Yeah, so we're still in timeline discussion because we're getting into, there's weeds that are a part of all the timeline. So this is a good, but that question of, you're right, hiring versus onboarding. What form of paperwork does every childcare
Copy of
worker
their first
receive?
Paycheck, pay stub?
Well, because that can be 2 weeks after they get started or a month after they get
Would have their
started.
start date. Well, their period, it would be the start of their pay, so, cause like my checks don't list off my days I work, so I mean, I could get a week later and still get hit in that same 2 week window type thing, so. I think
Could it
that might need
be-
to be a verification with the directors of whatever facility.
Do childcare centers keep, like, would they have? Would, what,
Or approval letter,
You know, like an insurance, you
But,
know, or a
we don't have any,
benefit.
most of our childcare workers don't have
Yeah.
benefits.
Right.
We do get approval letters from the state, but again, that, and we could use this incentive program to encourage compliance because that is your start date. You're not supposed to be listed as hired. So, I mean, we get that approval letter that says, yep, they're cleared. And that could be what it is. I don't know.
how reliably do those come when they're supposed to?
You're supposed to have that letter in your personnel file before your person is working with children.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my answer, like,
And
yeah, I
that
have them, I
is-
have them all ready for you, but
And that is data from the state. So as far as verified,
I like the idea because then
Information.
we're adhering to what is considered to be childcare compliant.
yeah. So, okay, so this is, I need to be
Like that.
technical here. So it's the state of Alaska.
It's the New Alaska Background Check System verification letter. And there's one, it's Friday morning, I'm forgetting the word. What's that first one they get issue you? It's like the pre-approval probationary one, and then you get a formal one.
So would probationary be acceptable for this?
Yep, because you can start working with kids once you have that.
What would happen if somebody didn't keep that?
They
The
are
employer should have it.
required to keep it. Also, you can get back
Directors.
on, you can log into the New Alaska Background Check System and all those forms are saved there too.
Okay,
So
I'm just
administrators
throwing out, like, I'm like, I have a lot of
Administrators-
papers around my house. If I
Yeah.
can't find it. but
That
I'm
is
trying
a
to
form
apply
that
for
goes to the administrator though,
this. Okay,
not,
then-
not to the employee.
okay, so administrators would have this. So
But I
they,
think though, that,
Or HR departments in my case. but I
yeah, and I
request
think
them
it should
from
be on the
HR.
employee to request it to get a copy from their
Mhm.
supervisor.
okay, but the and supervisor should have it. Okay, this is sounding like the good one to have. Sure, no one's doing this. Okay.
I think it takes some of that gray area out of it too. It's just like, nope, that was your day.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep, the
so
state said you were working with kids.
April 17th, application deadline. One,
I think I would like to though, I think we should keep it as the 15th, but kind of do like like, if this continues forward, not just during a trial, but say that those are the dates, like 15th of each one, and then we'll accept it the following business day.
okay,
If the 15th
Yeah.
falls on a weekend, we'll accept it the first, and on the Monday of the first business day, or however we want to word it. Because if this continues to go and it does work out,
having a
It's
consistent
nice
day.
just to be
Yeah.
consistent right off the bat.
Cool. So April 15th, applications are due. The month prior to that, or really basically starting now, people need to know about it so they can start gathering this kind of stuff. And so we're talking like a PR campaign at all the childcare centers in
2
town.
months before the first one basically is due.
Yeah, so. Yeah, like, here we go, ready or not. So. Applications need to be ready at minimum beginning of March or like before spring break. Am I wrong? Like that's giving people a solid month to get their paperwork in order and that kind of stuff. So let's just say March 15th for ourselves. Have applications finished and available for dispersal. Okay, just like that, our timeline brings us to now. Um, So yeah, the next stage is putting together that application. And we haven't looked up yet if the Juno program application is easily available.
I
Just
have
feel
not,
it.
I looked this morning quickly. I did not see it. All I seen was email for application. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do I apply? It says call AEYC at blah blah or email info at AEYC dash C.
yeah, I think,
Anymore. Anyways, I did look at it. And it says Hearts applications are emailed to previous awardees and all licensed childcare facilities a month prior to application deadline.
cool. That's our plan too. Yeah. Um, Becky, it seems like a natural fit for you to be the one to reach out to them, saying that we're about to administer this and we need to put together our application. Would you mind sending us a copy of yours so we can have a template for what we're gonna do? And then we could meet. And also, this is the point where we're kind of making this a group project, but it's kind of on you all to be figuring out. So if we're getting too in the weeds on you, tell
Well,
us.
I don't think it is. I
but-
mean, I think this part here, putting together what we're doing and
Yeah.
how we're gonna do it is all.
It's
Because we
help-
want to make sure that we have the application right as a task force. We want to make sure that the threads and how we confirm each tier is, I said threads and I meant to say tiers, correct as well.
Okay, I'm just saying for the record, tell us when it becomes
No,
us honing in on your job,
that will be just the
Getting-
reviewing and
getting up in your business or slowing you down. Yeah.
email.
Yes, send up the beacon. Because that's kind of the next stage, right? Like once we get that, then we can meet again and hash it out. Yeah, if we can keep it. Yeah,
Oh, we have a training hour requirement on there too, right, then? So will it be us also including in the documentation, like a copy of all our training?
Well,
Like a
just
training
kind of
one?
looking at what they have, and this is an hours. Current CDA or 12 EC related college credits. It doesn't have anything about training hours on here.
But our tiered system is built that way.
Okay, I need to look at ours then.
And then are we looking that it's like your whole employment history or just that past 6 months?
Save to my,
that is a good question.
well, how many training hours are you supposed to have?
Full-time employees are supposed to have 24 a year. But I think our thing, well, we prorate for part-time people, right? Is that what our thing said?
I believe
Haven't told
so.
me.
Yeah.
So. But there's some people that like, they get most of their hours when they go to the AEYC conference, which is in March. So it's like they might be waiting to get most of their hours during that time where it might not be reflected on their application then, but they are going to get their hours. So I don't want that to be like a barrier to people if they're planning to attend a conference or something, rather than spreading their trainings out. If that makes sense. And all of our trainings, in order to count for seed registry, have to be documented trainings. Or what about ones that are enrolled in college courses? Like, do we just have proof that they're enrolled? Maybe that's a question when you reach out to Hearts, like how they verify that. But they don't have, they do have training, right?
Training?
They don't do training requirement?
No.
Okay.
It just says the 12, the very bottom is 12 EC college credits.
So
and
they're
the
basing
AA.
everything probably off of the seed certificate in the seed registry number. Which is an easy way to go to, and employers do get a copy of that when they update it. So we could go that route. The seed's already done the work to confirm all of their trainings then. The problem is the registry is still down. I'm sorry, I'm a Debbie Downer over here.
It's Friday. You're supposed to be happy. That's a Monday like attitude.
So it won't be easy to update the registry right now with current trainings for people that might be moving up the ladder. Yeah.
I mean, this is not. we're
I'm
just
making it
trying-
hard.
We're trying to get people some cash. We're not
We're-
trying to
yeah,
make them
yeah,
jump through a million
right.
You
hoops.
just ask them to submit a copy of their training log. That's part of our incentive package though, is that hours, so.
I mean, if that's something that, as long as it's something that you can't like Google image search a fake thing or make, I'm just thinking of.
Well,
if
and I
you're
think
trying
that's
to
probably
scam the-
why Fred is using that seed registry. 'Cause
Yeah.
They confirm all of your things.
Yeah, but if the registry is currently down,
You
assume
can
there
still
might
do
be-
paper copies. You can do a paper application. So it's not impossible, but then it's like letting people know, like, hey, if you're gonna want to update your seed registry, make sure you're filling out your PDF copy for right away so that they have time to review it before this application is actually due. So it'll just be like arming people with some knowledge. It is, sorry. Sorry. Seed registry number is
Steps
probably the
that we
easiest way.
can- That we can cut out by just having a signature, having something from a supervisor.
Would you worry about?
Not that I say any of them would, but somebody could possibly, just say, yeah, they did their training and
Mhm.
might not have completed it. I don't know. That's just,
It's good to work through. This is why we're doing this, is
Yeah,
hashing
yeah,
out.
I don't know.
So
any
maybe
of
the
this.
easiest thing is the seed registry number then, because it is verified. Your stuff, your attendance gets verified. Your certificates are verified.
that is down.
It is down, the online application is down still.
So can
Um,
anybody get in and look at that? Like,
you
I
can
get
still
in?
see where you're at.
But can I get on there or do they have to submit?
I have a
something?
copy of the registry ladder for you too. And then I can send you the PDF application. But yeah, anybody can get on there.
Oh, so I could get in and I could look at, see where you're at or see
Oh,
where,
no.
that's like, how do
But
we?
we get a
ver-
certificate from Seed that says your seed registration number is this. This is effective until whatever date. It's usually just a year.
And all childcare providers receive that or have to register?
You should register.
But do they have to register?
In order to get certain grant funding, it is a way to incentivize
Well, we
it.
have an
If-
emphasis
if
line
we're,
that
like-
Can't do. So do they register?
I don't know. No, but they can still get reimbursement from the state on certain things. So maybe that's a question for Callie if they utilize the seed registry. Charlie would have her people register. But I could just be making enough.
No?
Yeah, I wonder if we could just do an email thread with Callie and Charlie on this topic of we're hashing out how to make sure we have verified database things for trainings and all of this. And so we need to know how you and your employees do this training, what kind of paperwork you get from it. Because there could be multiple things, right, that qualify. So if some people do this kind of training, some people do another.
Some some
if we
go
have a-
through the seed process, others have a different.
Charlie said, yes, everyone has to have one for us to be in Learn and Grow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're part of Learn and Grow.
So once I hear from Kelly, we'll know too.
So yeah, it might be a yes and kind of piece of of the application, which is the goal, right? People can be getting their
Yeah.
training through a lot of different ways. So this might be a yes and.
Well, C
category
isn't
on the
really like
application.
it's just a way to store all of your training hours essentially. And then they have people that just verify it and then rank you on their career ladder. It's
not
really
giving you dirty
completely
looks.
arbitrary.
I know,
to do
it's
this.
not, but it's hard, like, it's like, should I pull the shade? It's like, but it's sun.
I know, I'm like, I gotta balance.
I could even move because no one's on the Zoom, so I.
It's okay, I mean, you're gonna have to look that way to talk to us, so.
So we have our timeline. We're in the weeds on the application. We know we need to do some outreach, get some posters up, basically tell, I'm imagining a poster. Have you been a childcare worker since October 15th? If you have X amount of training hours, X amount of this, you'll be eligible for a bonus. Keep an eye out. March 15th, your director will have applications for the education incentive program. So here's what you're going to need to gather to give people enough time. Is that sounding fun and possible and gives people a heads up of like, here's what you're going to need. Here's where you're going to find that application and just have it all at the work sites and that kind of stuff, because that's,
This is another fine detail, but because the goal is to see people move up, I would be curious to know as well, like on maybe where they were sitting on our tiered system back when they first, like 6 months ago, as opposed to like where they might be now. Because I already have one employee who's moved up. And our goal is to monitor that change, right, and see that growth. So we should document it. Her? No, she doesn't qualify. That's sad. She'll qualify in December, though. Yeah, so. Like monitoring that. Like, are you?
so what's your
a care-
question? You're trying,
like, Listen, are you just a care,
I don't
not
think-
just a
I think
caregiver,
our
but are you a
first one-
caregiver, are you a childcare associate, or are you?
so
an
this
administrator?
first application is
Very
establishing baseline.
Yeah.
There's no way to go, we cannot go backwards in terms of gathering this data.
Question on the application though, so that hopefully by December's application period, we see people moving up.
Wouldn't
Be able to
wouldn't
see
that
people
be,
between their tiers, whatever tiers they're at, if they stay at the same tier or if they move up.
Yeah, well, and
We'll
it would
see
be
that without, I don't
helpful
think,
then to
question.
know from other directors too, like we have Kylie who won't qualify this round, but it would be helpful to know from directors, like how many staff members do you have who are eligible because of their date of hire right now? And then what is their position within your organization? Anything? You know what I mean?
will that be automatic with payout?
Probably not, because we won't know who we're not paying. They don't submit anything.
Well, even if,
But we're documenting who we did pay, and
Hopefully
that
in
will
December, we
be-
pay out more.
Yeah,
I think that's how we're gonna be able to gauge.
that's how we'll,
How we're
that's
gonna be able to
how I'm
gauge things.
considering if it's successful, if we run out of money.
Yeah.
And sometimes when
That's the goal.
when apply,
Yeah.
I'd kick them up into a different pay bracket where they won't receive
Training.
state benefits and things like that, so.
That's a pickle for sure. Yeah, because it is taxable income too, so then it's kind of a double whammy of
Make
like,
that clear on the application. We have to have a W-9 and then clear statement that no taxes are
Withheld
being
from this.
withheld and you will receive a W-9 for your next tax season or something. I'll have to see if there's any verification or verbiage on their app and then come up with something. Cause that was one thing that they were
Roots award
saying.
that childcare workers were given by the state the last 2 years as well has the same kind of requirements. We were given roots awards from Thread and Seed. So maybe we can steal some of their lingo to put on our app for that.
again, the Juno program may have this kind of stuff on their application, so. So Becky, do you want to let us know when you have that, and then we can schedule another meeting. I'm trying to organize it around especially your two schedules, just because
I just read
That
on the
makes sense.
calendar and apparently show up.
it's perfect. Yes. So, because that seems like the next in the weeds step. So it might be sooner than later,
Yeah.
if depending on when you can get it. And then,
I sure would like, Katie definitely, to review it, but maybe even have the other directors. review it.
absolutely, yeah,
I want it to
Just-
be user friendly
want
and
it
I
to
don't have as
be-
big of a staff as the other.
Well, and variety. I'm
Yes.
looking for very,
We
different.
want it, yeah. pretty
yeah, we
easy
need
to
everyone,
understand.
we need it to apply. We wrote it with the goal of applying to every single childcare center in town. They all need to be able to look at this and be like, yeah, my employees have
Yep.
this kind of qualifications or this, yeah, so we'll,
Want it to do real easy.
yeah,
Otherwise, I can't imagine these people, they are so busy doing the work.
yeah,
That there isn't a lot of time to, when are they gonna get off to call for all of this verification because they're working all week long?
mhm,
And then the weekends can't get a hold of,
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Hopefully that could be something the director even collects
I
things
will
and
give it
make
to
sure,
them
like,
with their
make sure,
application.
hopefully they would do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Who,
Which would be maybe a ask too, totally thinking, is there anything that the Hearts program provides the supervisor or the business that may encourage this? Because it's in everybody's best interest. Is there some direction we could give the supervisors to help facilitate their employees? Do they have anything like that? Like, hey.
I
we
wonder if if the idea of the flyer going up now, if that would even help the directors, like giving them a heads up, like, hey, this is coming, they're gonna come to you for these kinds of details, like, please put this up, like,
and ask who's gonna do the flyer? You want me to,
I
can
am-
also-
Katie makes a mean flyer.
ours is, we don't have a creative name as Hearts. Is it still the,
Oh, can we make acronyms?
it would be nice to call something than always going back to the early childhood education incentive program.
Yeah, it's so long and lengthy.
I don't know. And then it would be nice if we had some sort of image that we could always kind of tie to it or
Like
put
a
on the
general image?
application.
Okay.
Branding,
We
Exactly.
need to brand it.
yeah. I mean, we can take the weekend to brainstorm, we don't have to figure it out
Katie
right
will
now.
come up
but-
with it after we walk out
Yeah,
of here.
yeah. I trust you. I
So
trust
you'll do
you.
the poster too?
Sure, I'll run something by you. Image and branding for early.
Yeah, something punchy that's like, come get your money, you've earned it.
Okay.
What
Name.
program do you use again?
For a lot of my
Mhm.
graphics, I either do the Photoshop or Adobe Express. Sometimes I build them myself in Photoshop.
This is why you're the poster maker. Just make a mean poster.
Free time.
Yeah.
Making posters. Express is easy though, because they have so many templates. You just like rework them. Need a general childcare image then though. I will find something that fits all programs. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like whenever the newspaper KFSK was talking about childcare, they just used Kinderstag, but I don't want it to just be us.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make a logo instead of an image. We'll figure it out. It's on my list of things to do.
Cool. This is feeling
Apparently coming, but look at it.
stunning. Yeah,
It's sunning out there.
yeah. Can anyone think of any other things to hash out in this immediate moment? Or should we bless and release for the morning and? Because we'll be meeting sooner than later as a group for this, for sure. So. Rather than tripping over questions that may be answered by the Juno programs application or something.
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
Good.
All about easy, making it easy for these people.
Yeah, I think that's where we're helpful of like, not, we're like imagining being like a relatively new employee at one of these and having to figure it out is like, what's, yeah, what less lingo, but if you've done it, you understand what it is, easy to get. You're not, like, I'm thinking of somebody almost applied for a job here in town, but the application involved like chasing down their college transcript when they graduated like 15 years ago. And they were like, absolutely not. So, you know, avoiding that level of minutia, but then something that is still official enough that we're not going to get ourselves into trouble with.
Kelly uses seed as well.
Good.
Great, yay.
So we need the application, your seed certificate, and then your data hire. Like,
Yeah.
and then a W-9 form.
Well, not your date of hire, but your background check.
Background
right?
check. That is
Date.
technically your data hire.
But I think that would, I think if we say
We
background
have to
check.
say the background check, yeah.
It's different in the state, yeah.
Provisional. That was the word.
Mhm.
Came to me. The sunshine helped. Provisional
I
clearance.
just sit here in the sun for a while.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really warm. It's like.
I'll
being in
be
a
like I'm back
terrarium.
in Florida again. My kid's down there right now.
Okay.
okay.
we're Good for
Feeling
today.
good?
Yeah.
Productive work.
Okay.
I'm taking my doggy home now. He's hanging out with Julie.
Remember, if anyone has time or inclination, they're doing the hearing this afternoon on the bill that we discussed. I might just email in some affirmative comments.
Yeah.
It was part of a nice story that a reporter in Juneau did on the Juneau childcare status, because they just had another center close.
They've had two close.
Yeah.
Putting out just mass amounts of families. There's one in Sitka too, 3 to 5 is about to close because I can't find a director.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
And that, I think that puts out like 20 to 30 families, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
But
new
then I'll
story,
only
the new
back
story
to
on the
April.
topic brought up the bill from
Anybody
Zach Fields.
read Dave Ellis's letters?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Was it in this week's paper?
Go
Was
find
it
it.
about childcare? No.
You don't
Oh,
have a problem?
oh, bullshit. I got 50 people on my wait list and everybody's
Oh,
crying
that's
because
a-
I can't fit them in.
that's a personal choice. That's a-
I mean, okay, February is when it,
Anything to say?
February is when it all comes out and so we're starting February strong, I guess.
Yeah. yeah.
Personal choice.
Have children and to have
Or.
Have to work,
Come
yeah.
on. I even wear pants.
I'm just trying
I know.
just trying to be a good capitalist, Dave. What do you?
That's all I wear. I never wear a skirt.
Oh, man. Okay, we
We're gonna have to go get the paper.